protecting Main Street from Wall Street. It's Chris Hoffman with Money Unleashed.
How much money do you put into your checking account from work on a month-to-month basis? It has a high probability that with your investable assets, we can replace that paycheck.
It's time to put you back in control of your money.
You've worked for 35 years. It's time for you to not stress. It's time for you to enjoy and live the retirement you want to live.
It's Money Unleashed with Chris Hoffman.
Chris, we talk quite a bit about the connection between your health and your wealth because both make a big impact on just how satisfying your life and, of course, your retirement can be. Now, financial security is obviously a big key to retirement, but wealth means different things to different people. Your physical health, meanwhile, can affect your quality of life and your financial health as well. Investopedia provided a few tips for a healthy and wealthy retirement, and to no surprise here, the top of the list is working with a financial professional to build a thorough retirement plan. And that's what Hoffman Financial Group is here to help you with, isn't it?
Wow, that nails it right on the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge stressor when people first call us and visit us. They're nervous about what they have. They're nervous about what the areas of exposure are that they don't know. And I'll tell you what large amounts of that come from is 401ks. 401ks have very cookie-cutter approaches to the market. They give you very limited investment options, and there's really no advisory services that round out and complete the full financial plan. And some of you listening right now have very large 401k TSPs or 403bs with hundreds of thousands of dollars in them or millions of dollars in a 401k with limited options. And that has served you very, very well over the last 14 years because the market has gone straight up virtually. It has had a few small corrections along the way, but if you had stayed invested, and it is time in the market, you've done rather well. Now, I'm not saying to back out of the market completely, but wouldn't you like to know your area of exposure? Wouldn't you like to know what your standard deviation is or measure of financial risk? Wouldn't you like to learn how to manage against taking a 30 or 40 or 50% loss if this market heads south? So those are the type of discussions that I think are important to have. So if you're uncertain about what retirement would look like and how you would generate income and how you would avoid massive amounts of taxation on pre-tax IRA or pre-tax 401k money, and how do you protect these assets but still grow them? Well, that's where the art and the science come in play. And that's why you sit down with somebody and have them put together a full retirement plan, which has to have three legs to it, right? It has to have growth targets, has to have income with tax strategies, and has to have protection strategies built into it too. Wrap all of that in active management and regular follow-ups with your advisory team. And that should basically calm the waters for you and allow you to look at things in more of a clinical manner year over year. Wealth is important, but it's not important if you don't have your health. So if you're working and it's an unhealthy working environment, it might be time for you to consider putting a plan together to exit. If you're working and it's a healthy environment, you may want to stay working because from what I hear, people that retire, sometimes they get, sedentary and their health can actually fade. So everybody's different. And it's interesting when I sit with couples for the first time, one of them inevitably are like, I want him to retire. I want her to retire. Or, I want him to work a few more years. What is he going to do, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's not male, female. It's just depends on the partnership. But you got to strike that balance too. And you need to be on the same page. And we can help you with putting it in writing so you both can visualize it. You can take it home. You can sit at the kitchen table and you can have good, engaged conversations about the facts, not about the emotions around it, because it can get emotional, but you can tie it back to a financial plan. And I think that that's a big missing component with the way Wall Street manages retirement assets.
Stress can affect our lives financially and physically, and those two things are often intertwined, by the way. Chris, you've worked with so many people over the years, and I have to imagine that one of the most rewarding parts of the job is helping people with the planning which can mitigate the effects of that stress and replace it with a financial confidence.
Yeah, so I've been doing this for a pretty long time, and that is one of the most satisfying parts of being a financial advisor, is seeing people come in when they're in their working years and they're grinding away and they're finishing up with kids in college, and they're trying to get to the 401k millionaire number or 2 million or whatever their targets are. And we begin to put the planning in place. And then they look at one another and they say, okay, we're going to do this. And largely they're very confident they can do it. But there's always that thing in the back of their mind.
That what if.
Saying, that what if. And then to watch it unfold in that first 5 years or 6 years or 7 years of retirement. And that's when I want my clients to live their absolute best life. That first 5 years to 10 years of retirement, hopefully your health is as strong as it's ever going to be, in retirement anyway, and your wealth is strong because we've got the financial plan built, and you don't have to look over your shoulder and wonder and worry. It's time to live, folks. You have given yourself to your family, your kids, your job, and you've worked tremendously hard over a 30-plus year period of time. It is time for you to put together a plan where you can look at it and we can manage to it, and you can hire us to be that head coach to make sure that we don't go 8 overtimes and we win the game in the fourth quarter. And, that's the most satisfying part about being a financial advisor, is putting that all together. And then when we meet with clients, and some of them I've met with a tremendous amount of times, and they say, all right, you want to hear about the trip that we just went on? Or you want to hear about the next trip we're going on? Or we're getting all the kids and grandkids together for the holidays, and everybody's going to be in the same location, and they're just beaming with excitement about it. I mean, that's what we work for a tremendously long period of time to build the net worth that affords us the right to live a great retirement. The things that people don't realize in retirement that catch them off guard is how much taxes they're going to pay.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure, folks, if you have an advisor currently, that you're engaging with them and asking them consistently year over year. I'm not talking about in December of 2024 asking about the tax impact of 2024. That's already done. I'm talking about strategizing today for 2025, 2026, and beyond. And that way, no matter what happens with income tax levels or capital gains rates, you should be prepared to protect as much of your money away from the tax monster as humanly possible. I don't believe retirees should be taxed. I think that you should get to an age where you are tax exempt. And unfortunately, this country cannot afford to do that. And they are looking at retirees, and they are looking at your pre-tax 401k and IRA, and they are licking their chops, and they want to get it in large sums. So we have to be very active in the next several years to protect our clients from that. So that's what excites us every day and keeps us motivated and keeps us working hard for our clients.
Well, unless or until retirees get that tax-exempt status, what we want to do is stop that tax monster from overeating on those pre-tax dollars, of course. Now, a few other things in Investopedia's list for a healthy and wealthy retirement. It's a good split between the two, I think, Chris, because, working longer before you retire, if possible, is a great thing. But I think it comes down to this, and you've done a very nice job of pointing this out when it comes to Hoffman Financial Group, is consider your core values and try to live by those.
Yeah. What do you want your life to look like after you've worked? The hardest period of your life is most likely the 30 years of when you're working and you're raising your kids. And when you can hang your cleats up and say you've done a heck of a job in both of those areas, it's time for you to be a little bit selfish and focus on what's in it for me. And then think about, okay, what do I want my retirement to represent? What kind of family have I built? What kind of person am I? And unfortunately, wealth is a big part of relaxing everybody and allowing them to live their best life in retirement.
We look at the effect that stress can have on us. Again, we talked about it financially. We talked about it physically. In retirement, you don't want to be stressed out. You want to be, as Chris said, living your best life as best you can, especially in those early years. And maybe even, if you'll allow me, it's not even about being selfish, but about just being able to have a little bit of self-care, about being able to finally focus on yourself a little bit when you have spent so much time, effort, energy, and probably money taking care of everyone that you care about. But you can also keep in mind there are some things your money can do after you're gone.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about what it looks like and what we try to build for our clients after retirement. So let me back up a little bit and kind of walk everybody through the steps that we can go through that are very easy for our listeners and the people that visit Hoffman Financial Group. And we put the onus on ourselves to take the hours in preparation for our meetings. So we would start with this. If you call us at 404-341-6767, or you go to unleashyourmoney.com and click on the Portfolio X-ray, that is a great starting point for people that have been listening to the show and want to take action, right? We can't pick up the phone for you.
No.
We can't make you go online. But if you do, click on that 401k X-ray button. Then we will follow up with you. One of our representatives will call you Monday or Tuesday of next week, and we will basically map out exactly what the Portfolio X-ray is going to do for you and show you. And we'll ask you for some information, and then we will take the hours to prepare that Portfolio X-ray, which is about a 10 to 14-page document. In that document, you will see a list and a deep scrub on all of your financial assets. So we'll basically tell you how they have grown comparative to benchmarks over the past 10 years, over the past year or 5 years. We'll show you the risk profile, and we'll give you a maximum drawdown. So if the market were to repeat a great recession or a COVID correction, how much would this portfolio lose? We'll also break down your fee structure. So it's interesting to note that a lot of folks out there, especially 401k owners, do not understand and don't have a good handle on how much they're paying in fees. So those are 3 components, among others, that we will build into the Portfolio X-ray. When you arrive at the office, not only will you meet your financial advisor and get to know them, and they'll ask you some questions, but you will be walked through that Portfolio X-ray, and you get a copy of it to take with you free of charge. There's no reason not to pick up the phone and do that financial physical toward the end of this year. Call 404-341-6767 or go to unleashyourmoney.com and get that done.
Let Hoffman Financial Group help you build a retirement plan that checks all the boxes, one that's designed to eliminate that stress that your financial health can have on your physical health. It can take a toll. I think we've all felt it at times, but when you have that plan in place, it can tamp down that fear of the unknown, because that's what it's designed to do, account for the good times, the hard times, and everything in between. Let's get started today with that Portfolio X-ray. It is complimentary, as Chris said, no cost whatsoever to get yours. 404-341-6767 or sign up online at unleashyourmoney.com. We appreciate you checking out the podcast. New episodes come your way on Monday and Friday each and every week, so make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, you can catch Money Unleashed every Sunday on 95.5 WSB in Atlanta. Tune in for 2 great hours of conversations geared toward getting you thinking about your financial present, your financial future, and ways to help you build the retirement you want. That's every Sunday on 95.5 WSB from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Chris Hoffman is an investment advisor representative of Brookstone Wealth Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor and affiliate of Brookstone Capital Management, LLC. BWA and Hoffman Financial Group are affiliated under common ownership. Registered investment advisors and investment advisor representatives act as fiduciaries for all of our investment management clients. We have an obligation to act in the best interest of our clients and to make full disclosures of any conflicts of interest. Please refer to our firm brochure, the ADV 2A, page 4, for additional information. The Hoffman Financial Group and WSB are not affiliated. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. medical. This information should not be considered tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a professional specializing in the field of tax, legal, accounting, or investments regarding the applicability of this information for their situation. Any client experiences discussed during the show are unique to that client. They are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments will fluctuate, and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Any comments regarding safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims-paying ability of the issuing company and are not offered by Brookstone. Index or fixed annuities are not designed for short-term investments and may be subject to caps, restrictions, fees, and surrender charges as described in the annuity contract. Please refer to our firm brochure, the ADV2A Item 4, for additional information. Hoffman Financial Group is not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Insurance licensed in Georgia, number 163546.